In this life, no matter how good you are, there will always be people who don't like you. No matter how good you are at what you do, there will always be people who criticize, try to interrupt, argue unnecessarily, or make sarcastic comments. They even act as if your time and feelings don't exist. What's worse, they think you can just smile and ignore it all. That disrespect keeps happening over and over again. And it's not just one person, but many people that make you feel tired every time you face it. Don't worry, because this video is for you. Today, I'm going to share honest, maybe a little bold, methods to deal with disrespect without losing your temper or self-respect. Be prepared, because by the end of this video, you'll have effective strategies to protect yourself without sacrificing anything. Solution number 1, embrace the power of the silent stare. Have you ever tried the power of a silent stare? It sounds simple, but it is one of my favorite powerful techniques. Stoic philosophy teaches us, what you can control is your own response, not the actions of others. Silence is a way to keep you from falling into temptation. In life, there are people who respect you, and there are people who despise you. Some are kind and warm, while others are cold and distant. People who despise you cannot even show you basic respect, let alone kindness or intimacy. When faced with disrespectful people, explaining or communicating is often futile. It only causes unnecessary arguments and makes you feel inferior. So instead of trying to justify or react, try a silent stare. When someone is rude or disrespectful, nothing makes them feel more uneasy than a silent, calm, steady stare. Provocateurs are looking for a reaction. They want you to flinch, stammer, or try to fight back to drag you into their fight. But when you just look at them without showing any emotion, your power changes the situation completely. Surely you will wonder, just one look. Think of Mo Yan, the famous writer who won the Nobel Prize in Literature. Although he has not published a new book for a long time, he is still ridiculed by many people for losing his talent. However, Mo Yan did not pay any attention to that disrespect and continued to follow his own path, stable in writing. When the book The Little Birdman was released, it quickly reached $1 million in revenue, becoming the strongest counterattack, proving that silence and perseverance are the greatest strength. Mo Yan once shared, "When someone does not respect you, do not waste your energy explaining. Forget your generosity, do not communicate. Do not be angry or sad. Ignore, stay away, and work hard in silence. People who do not respect you do not do so because you are not good enough, but simply because they do not care about you. When you choose to remain silent and continue living well, you have clearly demonstrated your self-respect and strength. Silence is golden, living comfortably in immer. Silence has long been considered a powerful weapon in many situations, but few people realize that it is not just a simple action, but a powerful statement. When faced with rude behavior, silence helps you not to fall into the temptation of proving yourself right or defending yourself. Let me tell you a story in which silence actually becomes magic. At the company's year-end summary, I was assigned the most important task. From choosing the restaurant to the decoration, everything was my responsibility. However, a colleague constantly criticized everything, from the food to the decoration, because he thought he should have been chosen by the boss for this job. When he made a disrespectful comment about me, I didn't argue, I didn't react. I just looked at him silently, without any emotion, and something magical happened. He started to get embarrassed, became uncomfortable, and eventually fell silent. For the rest of the event, he didn't bother anyone else. That silent look was more powerful than any words. Not only did it stop his behavior immediately, but it also made him treat me with more respect afterward, as if he realized that I wasn't someone to be dismissed so easily. Sometimes the most powerful way to protect yourself is to say nothing at all. When you face someone with a steady, silent look, you are sending a clear message without a word. I'm not playing your game. You can't drag me into your fight. A silent look is not an act of aggression, but an assertion of your right to peace and self-respect. When someone disrespects us, our natural response is to defend ourselves, or explain away, or worse, ignore them to avoid conflict. But the silent stare subtly communicates that you refuse to be drawn into their negativity. People who habitually belittle others often do so without being confronted. But when you give them a silent stare, you act as a mirror reflecting their actions back to you. The magic of the silent stare goes beyond stopping their behavior. It also strengthens your own self-esteem. By standing still and calm, you remind yourself that their words or actions cannot affect you. Silence is not just a temporary response, but a powerful strategy for protecting yourself and maintaining your self-respect. When faced with disrespect, instead of reacting hastily, we can learn to apply the Stoic philosophy. It is not what happens to us, but how we react to it that determines our worth. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught us that what is outside cannot harm our inner nature if we do not let it. Silent viewing is the practice of inner steadiness and calmness. When you do not get caught up in other people's games, you are truly mastering your emotions and not letting their words or actions affect your inner peace. This is the Stoic way of living, maintaining your composure, not letting external circumstances shake your own values and virtues. When you do not react, you not only protect yourself, but also affirm your self-respect and maturity in your actions. So the next time you are faced with disrespect, remember that silence is not a sign of weakness, but rather the great strength of a person who has learned to master his or her emotions in life. The silent gaze, combined with the steadfastness of Stoic philosophy, is the key to living peacefully and powerfully in a challenging world. Solution number 2, accept that silence is the answer. Sometimes silence is the most powerful answer you can give. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we cannot control what others say or think about us, but we can control how we react to it. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it that determines our life." When you choose silence, you do not let the outside world take away your inner peace. You do not get caught up in gossip or other people's judgments. Silence is a way of showing calmness and self-control, two very important elements in Stoic philosophy. You do not have to engage in sarcastic conversations or prove yourself to people who do not really care about the truth. You know that self-respect and self-awareness are far more important than taking your say in a pointless argument. Silence is not just passive, it is a powerful choice. When you choose not to engage in someone else's negativity, you force them to confront their own actions, and that silence speaks volumes. People who disrespect others often expect a response, an argument, a defense, or even just a little embarrassment so they can feel like they've won. But silence says, "I don't give you power." By not reacting, you stay in control of the conversation. You show them that you're not here to be a part of their disrespectful game. Sometimes the most effective communication isn't about saying anything, but about subtly reminding them that they're not worth your time or your words. Imagine you have a friend who is always making critical comments like, "People say you are not good at teamwork," or "You forget this and that, you should fix it." These words are not advice but hidden sarcasm, a kind of sarcasm disguised as humor. One day he made an unnecessary comment about my personal life, clearly intended to irritate me. Normally I would have tried to explain or retort, but this time I just looked at him, frowned, and said nothing. I let his words hang in the air, leaving him sitting there silently and embarrassed. He didn't know what to do, glanced at me, mumbled a few words, and finally changed the subject. After that, he stopped engaging me in those absurd conversations, as if he realized that I was not someone who could be easily unbalanced. The silent look said more than words. It stops his behavior and shows him that I am not cooperating. Choosing silence in the face of disrespect is removing that negativity from your attention. Here is the deeper message. When you choose silence, you are choosing yourself. You are saying, "I value my peace more than I value your opinion of me." This is not only empowering, it is transformational. We often feel pressured to respond, explain, or defend our choices to people who are outright disrespectful to us. But by remaining silent, you are refusing to play by their rules. You stand your ground without lifting a finger. You show them that they are not worthy of your words. Silence not only gives you control over the situation, but it also helps you refocus your energy. Silence becomes a filter, keeping your peace intact while blocking out the negativity that others try to throw at you. Once you stop feeling the need to respond to every rude comment, criticism, or aggression, you free yourself. You stop letting people invade your inner world, and you start living your life on your own terms. Honestly, learning to embrace silence isn't easy. I used to think that if I didn't stand up for myself, I would look weak or passive. But I started to realize that every time I stayed silent and let the rude comments pass by like white noise, I felt lighter, stronger, and more in control, as if I was reclaiming a part of myself. So my challenge to you is this: the next time someone disrespects you, stop, take a deep breath, look them in the eye and say nothing. Let your silence speak. You'll be surprised at how uncomfortable silence can be for them and how freeing it can be for you. Accept silence as your answer, because sometimes saying nothing is the biggest statement you can make. Solution number 3, stop explaining your decisions. Have you ever felt pressured to explain why you chose something? Whether it's turning down an invitation, changing jobs, or even simply doing something that others don't understand, it seems like there's always someone who wants to know why. However, the truth is, you don't have to explain anything to anyone. Your decision is yours and it comes from your own values, goals, and understanding. A friend of mine, he decided to give up a stable office job to open a small coffee shop in a coastal town. As soon as he made this decision, people around him kept asking, "Why give up that stable job? How can you survive with a small coffee shop like this?" At first, he tried to explain his reasons. "I want to create a space for people to relax, enjoy peaceful moments." But after each explanation, he was questioned again. "What if it fails? Do you have a long-term plan?" He began to doubt his decision. Then one day he realized that he didn't need to explain himself to people anymore. When someone asked him, "Why are you doing this?" he simply smiled and replied, "Because I want to." And that was it. No more excuses or excuses. As a result, the incessant questions stopped. He was no longer bothered and began to feel more free in his own decisions. In fact, whenever someone asks you to explain your decision, they usually don't really want to understand. They just want to judge or influence your choice. Sometimes they want to pressure you to doubt yourself or change your perspective to match their choice. These people may feel insecure when you take a different path, which challenges their perspective on life and forces them to confront their own insecurities. However, this does not mean that you have to assuage their insecurities. Stoic philosophy, of which Marcus Aurelius was a great representative, teaches us that not all decisions in life require the approval of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you have something that you believe to be right, do it and do not explain or justify it to others." This emphasizes that you do not have to please everyone or explain every choice you make. The next time someone asks you why you did something, whether it is turning down a meeting, changing jobs, or choosing a different path, simply say, "Because I wanted to," or "It was the right choice for me." Then let the silence speak. Silence is not passivity, but a powerful confidence in knowing that you don't have to explain your decisions to anyone. Remember Seneca's teaching, "What is mine is mine." What others think of it does not diminish its value. You don't have to cooperate with questions or judgments about your choices. Your life is not a show for others, and you owe no one an explanation. True freedom comes from living your life the way you choose, free from questions or judgments from others. If you're here and you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with the bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you enjoyed this content as much as I did, please leave a comment. Solution number 4, distance yourself from people who disrespect you. In life, you will sometimes encounter people who consistently disrespect you and your personal boundaries. No matter how hard you try, there will always be people who belittle your worth, leaving you feeling drained and anxious. When faced with such people, one of the healthy and necessary choices is to distance yourself. This doesn't mean harboring resentment or overreacting, but rather protecting your own energy and peace. I remember a friend who was always finding ways to ridicule me about my life choices, my career, my relationships, even my personal preferences like music or my daily routine. At first, I thought it was just my friend's personality and that maybe I was overreacting. But over time, those little comments gradually accumulated and became a burden to me. I felt like I had to be mentally prepared for constant criticism. One day, I decided to change my approach. Instead of confronting or reacting strongly, I simply started seeing this friend less often. I reduced my meetings to once a month instead of weekly, and surprisingly, I felt a lot lighter. I realized that this friendship had become toxic, and that I deserved friends who truly respected and helped me grow. Keeping distance is not selfish, but a way to protect your mental health and maintain peace in your life. You don't have to keep people close if they constantly make you feel drained, anxious, or disappointed in yourself. In fact, when you let people who don't respect you into your orbit, you're inviting them into an emotional buffet where they can criticize, judge, and put you down. This makes it easy to feel stressed and lose confidence. Stoic philosophy teaches us that self-control and equanimity in the face of external influences are very important. Seneca said, "Let no one make you feel inferior, for it is not others who make you feel inferior, but you who allow them to do so." This means that you do not have to accept every attack on your spirit from others. You have the right to set boundaries and choose who has a positive influence on your life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, also taught that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our own reactions. If someone is constantly disrespecting you, Stoicism would advise you to learn to let go and keep your distance instead of confronting or trying to change them. This helps you focus on more important things, on the people who truly respect and support you. When you distance yourself from people who disrespect you, you not only protect your mental health, but you also affirm that you are a person who deserves to live in a positive environment. This is a way to show self-respect, and it is also an important lesson in Stoic philosophy. What is mine, and I will not let anyone make me feel inferior. Protecting your peace and personal space is not selfish, but necessary for you to maintain your mental freedom. When you distance yourself from people who disrespect you, you will have more space to grow as a person. You will have the opportunity to spend time and energy on the relationships that truly matter, the ones that help you grow and feel happier. The time you spend with people who support you will help you feel confident, happy, and free from negative influences. Keeping your distance is not a punishment for someone, but an act of self-protection and self-respect. When you spend your time and attention with people who respect you, you feel happier and can grow stronger. So as a Stoic, learn to protect your peace and maintain distance from people who do not deserve a place in your life. Solution number 5, keep your head up. There are times in life when you encounter people who tend to put you down. These people may not directly attack you, but through their words, looks, or actions, they want to make you feel small and unworthy. When faced with such situations, there is a very simple but extremely powerful advice. Keep your head up. Imagine you are an employee in a company, and there is a colleague who always makes negative comments about your work, or makes you feel like your efforts are not worth it. At first, you may feel uncomfortable, but keep quiet because you do not want to have a conflict. However, after a while, you realize that those comments are affecting your mood and self-esteem. Instead of continuing to accept the disrespect, you decide to change your approach. Every time you encounter this coworker, you tell yourself to hold your head high, walk confidently, and not let their criticism get you down. You smile, continue your work, and don't let the disrespect affect your self-worth. Surprisingly, your coworker begins to notice that their criticism no longer affects you, and they seem to back off. When someone disrespects you, they often want to see you put yourself down because it makes them feel like they have control over you. But when you hold your head high and stand tall, you send a powerful message that your worth cannot be changed by their words or actions. You don't need their validation to feel valuable. In fact, when you are confident and refuse to let disrespect affect you, you make others question their strength and power. Your confidence will be the wall that protects you from outside negativity. Stoic philosophy, as taught by Marcus Aurelius, emphasizes the importance of self-respect and equanimity in the face of external influences. He wrote in his Meditations, "You can control how you respond to the world, but you cannot control the world itself." When faced with disrespect, rather than letting it shake you, Stoics advise standing tall and reminding yourself that you have control over your emotions. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, also said, "It is not others who make you feel weak, you allow them to be." This means that when you face disrespect, you have a choice in how you respond. Holding your head high is not an act of confrontation or retaliation, but rather an affirmation that you know your worth and that you will not let anyone diminish it. When you maintain your self-respect, you not only protect yourself from disrespect, but you also affirm that you are worthy of respect. Holding your head high is a profound expression of self-respect, and Stoic philosophy emphasizes that self-respect is not something you expect from others, but something you give yourself. As Marcus Aurelius said, it's not how you're treated by others, it's how you're treated by yourself. When you hold your head high, you're asserting that you're the master of your own story, not letting outside events dictate your worth. Holding your head high isn't just a physical stance, it's a mental attitude. It's an expression of self-respect, of living confidently in your own worth without needing validation from anyone else. When you're faced with disrespect, remember that you have a choice in how you respond. Don't let others dictate how you feel. Always hold your head high, stand tall, and walk with confidence. By doing so, you not only protect your inner peace, but you also show that you are worthy of respect, which is one of the most profound lessons from Stoic philosophy. Hopefully, the solutions I have shared in this video will help you gain strength and confidence to face challenges in life, especially when faced with disrespect from others. Remember, you absolutely deserve to be treated with respect and love, and you have the right to protect yourself. Always stand up for your values, set clear boundaries, and always hold your head high with confidence, because you deserve the best in life. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this video. If you find these messages helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the video with people who you believe would benefit from these tips. Together, we can build a strong, positive, and self-respecting community. Continue to live strong, confident, and respect yourself. Wishing you happiness and peace. See you in the next videos.